Hey guys, Mus1cMan here back with another Identity V video. In this video I'm going to be reviewing some more Hunter gameplay of some of my viewers. I'm going to be looking at a Wu-Chang match and a Ripper match. So without further ado, let's take a look. Alright, so first we're going to start with looking at some Ripper gameplay on Arms Factory. Arms Factory is one of Ripper's relatively stronger maps. Some good maps for Ripper would have to be well, definitely Moonlit. Moonlit's the most characteristic map that most people recognize as bias for Ripper. But Arms Factory isn't bad either. There are a lot of good Foggy Blade areas. And you end up coming across the Cowboy. Now in team comps like this, you might think you want to find the Mind's Eye, but you actually really want to find the Cowboy first. The reason for that is because even if you do end up downing the Mind's Eye, you're still going to need to down the Cowboy anyways, because they're inevitably going to come to rats. So you made the right move there, downing the Cowboy instead of skipping and then moving on. Now just one little thing to that first down with Ripper, if you're not doing your, if you don't have your Foggy Blade, what I would recommend doing is just like 90% of your attacks should be charge attacks, just because his normal hitbox is pretty bad. I think it's like short to wide, and you can see the mercenaries coming for the rescue, and you gotta be careful about that Foggy Blade there. But you executed that very well, and you got a double hit on the rescue already, so now that frees you up to chasing the Cowboy for a little bit. That was a very close hit, very close hit. You might have been able to avoid that juke if you would have done a charge attack there. You might want to think about using charge attacks. What was that Mind's Eye doing? What? Okay, I guess the Mind's Eye wanted to heal the mercenary or something. The Mind's Eye should have hidden until you went away and then tried to heal, because that allowed you to get a free terror shock there. Wow. Okay, so the Cowboy ended up getting away, but that's okay because you ended up downing 2 survivors for it. Oh, the mercenary's back up, and the Cowboy is running away, but the Enchantress is still here, so you gotta be careful about this. Is an important moment. And you ended up... That hit the chair? What? I guess that hit the chair. Okay. So rocket chairs like that are really hard to Foggy Blade if they're close, just because the hitbox on the rocket chairs are huge. There's that charge attack that I was talking about. So at least you were able to down the Mind's Eye nice and fast again. It looks like the survivors are going to heal up, so after you do that, you know that the survivors are towards the middle of the map somewhere, so you can try to go there to stop. I don't know what's wrong, they were just decoding the cipher. Okay, the mercenary is here though, but the mercenary doesn't have Tide anymore, so you can just do a quick hit on anything. You know the Mind's Eye is not going to be able to get anywhere, so you might as well go chase her for a little bit. Maybe wait until the mercenary is gone before you take a swing at the Mind's Eye, but because he was able to get a pallet stun, you and is starting to transition to a good area to go for the Furies. That was a good pallet stun. This is a really good Mind's Eye. So you do the you go over to this area, you use your pals to your advantage, but once you get to Factory, you're pretty much home free from there. Even though Factory was recently nerfed, it's still the most powerful area. There's no question about it. I feel like this Mind's Eye should have kept going, or at least pallet spamming and working our way around those pallets that are close to there to try to look for an opening. Because really the only counter you can have against Ripper, because he's both really fast and has this Foggy Blade that goes through obstacles, is really to have that pallet spam, because Rippers will not that's annoying how the Enchantress removes the speed there. Makes it really slow catching survivors, but you end up down to the Enchantress here, which I think is justified, even though there is a cowboy around, so you're gonna have to keep an eye out for that. Oh, missed his last one. If he was able to, that's a really tough thing to do as cowboy, especially against a Ripper with that particular accessory. But against a top cowboy, that probably would have been a lasso there. So I think you're doing the right thing camping here, although you could hunt around a little bit, see if your tinnitus ends up going off, because right now you know that they're not going to save before half, so you can go and chase and find where the survivors are located, or at least go around and put peepers on ciphers. I do that sometimes also, but right now they're just, looks like they're just healing up the Merc, so the Merc can attempt a last second save, maybe? Yes, that is what's going on. That's one hit. That's two hits. Okay, that was a good double hit. Rescuer. You kind of saw that stun coming from the Enchantress, but you'll catch back up to her in no time because you've got your invisibility now. She still has stuns. Wow. Okay. This area is not easy to work with against a Ripper, just because any place that's like thin obstacles is a really tough area to work with. Ripper is not easily tight-coated, as you can see. So now you're taking the Enchantress to the chair, and then you just take the Merc to the chair. And yeah, this is pretty much GG's from here. Oh, you're going for the 4-man. Alright. Let's see what you do here. There's a cowboy here. Now, the cowboy doesn't have a ton of potential, but his lasso can, in some cases, be used to his advantage. Now, when he saw that you were breaking that pallet, I definitely would have recommended that he use that extra time to make it to factory, because he would have been able to last so much longer in factory than where he was. But yeah, let's take a look at this next round, Mus1cMan. Alright, that was a beautiful teleport there, but the survivor did choose to not go to that cipher and transition out. Against a Mus1cMan, most Mus1cMans will try to make their way towards that area, or in the corner of the map that I said in my previous videos is one of the worst parts of the map for survivors. And you come across the mechanic, so this is already a pretty strong start here. You're black Mus1cMan, so you got your faster attack. So I would try to bait the vault at this point. And you just kind of, oh, the mechanic's actually going to end up running out, which this means. Okay, the mechanic placed down her bot, break the bot. Okay, what you should have done there is you should have broken that bot, because that bot would have given you your ability, your bell, and your bell is really crucial to damage the survivor. And now the mechanic's not useless on the fair again, so yeah, you definitely should have broken that bot. Alright, let's see what you do here, make him to the chair. Okay, at this point, you should just spam the keeper on her. You're not going to be able to get her to the chair. Okay, you're going to chase the cowboy here. It's totally correct, but you have to ban it. Or at least hit him and scare him off before you can try to find the mechanic here. So, I actually don't think they should have healed the mechanic up here. And I'm going to tell you why, because she was already so close to struggling free. If you picked her up, and more likely than a free escape. So, using your bell, you should try to avoid like run through pallets and stuff because you're able to get pallets on the lap and you just stop it. What I would recommend is when you use your belt, try to reach through it. Try to reach through the pallet to survive it. And there's a cowboy that I think that cowboy should have been able to get that lasso there. I'm not sure what happened. But the enchantress is here, so let's get a nice early hit. Bell. Beautiful bell. Down the mechanic there. The cowboy's over there, so you might get lassoed. Oh, this cowboy's not attempting the lasso. What is this cowboy doing? Okay, that was a very delayed start. All you have to do here is down the cowboy because there's no way any other survivors can attempt that rescue at this point. So, yeah, because I think the embalmer is loading up this one. And they have got 2 ciphers left to do. If the embalmer has seen one of these other survivors throughout the match, now would have been a good time to get that coffin switch to them. But it looks like that's not going to happen. So, but your tinnitus is going up, so you have to be careful about that. That hits it. Oh, okay. And again, with the delayed start. Oh, and the embalmer just kind of surrenders there. Nice. So, yep, this is a pretty much secured win. You should hook in the embalmer rescue now. What are you doing? Okay. It's okay. It doesn't really matter. At this point, the victory is basically yours. Unless something goes horribly wrong. You should just chase that embalmer. Get him out of there. If you down an embalmer with a coffin, what you really have to do is you just gotta kind of slug him until he's down. Yeah, the embalmer was important here, so you should. You got your soul siphon there, so that's an easy down for you. Nice job using the range attack to your advantage. You're gonna make your way back to the chair to make sure that the cowboy gets eliminated, as you should. And you see the enchantress coming by attempting to save. Yep, you can just sort of juke around these walls, stall for an extra. Okay, if I were you, I would have definitely tried sticking myself between the survivor and the chair, because she was able to work her way around the direction that you took, trying to work around those houses. Now that works if a survivor is tight-hanging, but when you're defending, you 9 times out of 10 want to put yourself between the survivor and the chair. Especially an injured survivor, because that means you're pretty much guaranteed to get a hit. You're pretty much guaranteed to either get the hit or get the survivor eliminated. Unless if it's a mercenary. A mercenary would still be able to take 2 attacks, which you really need to play as a violinist or a feaster to stop that. Why did the embalmer use her coffin? I don't understand that. Okay, the embalmer should have used his coffin because there was no chance that the enchantress is going to be able to get another rescue like that. And the enchantress, I guess, is decoding. And you see, I think you see Cypher wiggling there. You're going to make your way over to this general area. Probably where dungeon is at. She's going to make her way into hospital. Now, I would usually say don't chase in hospital, but being that's the last one, it doesn't really matter, and you get the down anyways, so you get the easy elimination, and this is also a format, so beautiful job here. There are just a couple small tips that I mentioned throughout the video, but overall, you executed this gameplay very well, so let's see what... Aw, you're so nice. You took the survivor to dungeon. Yeah. Oh, and there's your build. Yeah, that's a pretty good build for Wu1cMan. I would just recommend, instead of going wanted order, run berserker. But thanks for sharing. Well, I hope you all enjoyed that video. If you want your gameplay reviewed in a future video, instructions are in the description below on how to do that. Thanks for watching.